Hi, my name is Stephanie Everett, and I'd like to welcome you back to the Suburban Chateau. I'm very excited to introduce this new series of videos to you. And we're going to be taking, I'll just put it really quickly, and obviously you saw it in the title, an adventure on the Rhine River. And I want to tell you a little bit about the backstory of this trip, and then we're going to start off in the wonderful town of Zurich, Switzerland. So I can't wait to share all the backstory and tell you a little bit about this trip. It's going to be an 8-part series, but you're going to get to see everything we saw on our trip, and just was a fabulous journey, and excited to share it with everyone. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you might know that I'm a school teacher. My husband and I have been married. This is our 30th year being married together, and we wanted to do something to kind of commemorate our anniversary, and we've always wanted to travel. I have a bit of a fear of flying, travel, new things, across the board, I guess you could say. And so I've kind of been holding back on going anywhere exotic or strange or different. We've always just gone to the same place to vacation, and thankful that we had a place to go vacation, but it was time to change something. And we talked last year about going on a cruise. We talked about Alaska, and my husband recently had his knee replaced. So the possibilities became more increased with that improvement in his life. And we found this trip that was hosted by one of our favorite Celtic bands called Cherish the Ladies. We followed them for many years, and we saw that they were taking a Rhine River adventure, and it was going to be as soon as school was out. And this just seemed like the perfect chance for us to try something different. Now, my hubby and I had never had passports before, so that was a bit of a journey to start out with. I had never booked flight internationally before. I had booked flights to Florida before, but that was a little scary. I had very good friends helping me along the way getting that right. And we just didn't know what to expect. We were thinking a different country, they would speak a different language, and we had a lot of fears. No, I had a lot of fears. No, my husband's probably fine. And so we drove down to Dulles Airport in Washington, D.C., and what a wonderful airport. Just, oh my goodness, we were parked and picked up by a shuttle, and they had our suitcases all set, and before a minute was over. It was amazing. Very, very efficiently run airport. So a lot of my fears right away got right through that. We're sitting at the gate, and we knew we were in good shape. Got on the plane and took an 8-hour flight. That was pretty exciting, to Zurich airport. I had never been there before, but we just kind of followed people to where we should be. And then we got a shuttle to our hotel. We spent 2 days on land before we met our Rhine River cruise. And so today's video is going to be all about the first place we saw, which was Zurich, Switzerland. And we literally got on the plane at 5 o'clock at night in US time. We flew the 8 hours, and when we arrived in Zurich, it was 8 a.m. So the beginning of the day, the next day. So we missed the nighttime completely. And our tour started at like 11 or 12. And we knew we couldn't check into our hotel rooms until we got back from the tour. So we had the whole day long in Zurich before we could even get a shower. So we had to kind of plan accordingly on this trip. But I hope you really enjoy it. I'll be talking to you a little bit about the town of Zurich. Blew me away just to get started on this trip in this beautiful little city. Now, one of the things we learned in our tour is that Zurich is the largest city in Switzerland, and our guide took us to the old town section of Zurich, and these buildings were hundreds of years old. And at our very first stop, there was a lookout where we could go and walk out on this beautiful overlook. And immediately you could see the Alps in the distance. And it was just like a painted backdrop, so incredible against these older buildings. And I just couldn't believe we were where we were. And it was just an incredible memory. Here we are in the old town of Zurich. Some of the beautiful architecture here. After having a little bit of an explore around Old Town Zurich, we stopped at this wonderful bakery, and they really didn't speak very much English, but that was the only place we ever encountered an issue. We got a coffee, we got a roll. At this point, we had been up almost 2 straight days, and we got to explore the beautiful Old Town Zurich. And at this point, we were in sort of a shopping area, but there were beautiful old buildings, architecture sprinkled within this shopping area. And it was a very fancy shopping area that I hadn't really ever been around some of these stores. We saw Valentino. There were all kinds of very high-end stores, and it was just kind of fun to window shop and walk through this section of Old Town Zurich. This very first day, we just had a few hours to kind of look around and get an idea. And everywhere we looked, it was just amazing architecture. These older buildings dating back hundreds and hundreds of years, nothing like we see in America. And it was just breathtaking. Everywhere we went, saw so many incredible things. thank you so much for joining me on day one of our Rhine River adventure, getting to see that beautiful town of Zurich, Switzerland, and that old, ancient, beautiful architecture. Just started our trip off on an amazing trajectory. So I hope you'll stick with us. We're going to see a lot more sights on the Rhine. And it was an incredible experience. I feel so blessed to have had this experience.